like Jeopardy specials on primetime
And
television
why do
in the
they do
evening.
that? Like, that's messed up.
Because you know who they picked to be the Jeopardy host?
Who?
The guy in charge of picking the next Jeopardy host.
Oh my goodness.
The no-name executive producer of the show.
Dang.
That's who they picked.
Why? Like, what?
When in doubt, pick yourself.
Oh my gosh, that's messed up.
They auditioned tons of people, including her.
That's messed up.
Didn't give her the job. Gave her some special new Jeopardy job to make it appear more normal that they picked the guy in charge of picking the person. I appoint myself.
Right. I didn't even...
Everyone, great job auditions. Not quite as good as me.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Yeah. Especially a job like that, there's no term. Like, that's who it is. Doesn't it become
right.
like, that's so messed
The
up.
Price is Right didn't do that when Bob Barker retired. They picked Drew Carey. He's like a known celebrity, a Clevelander.
Yeah.
They didn't have the executive producer of The Price is Right become the new host. Come on.
How long do you think it's going to last? Isn't personality some of that?
I don't know.
That is so
It's just
messed
dumb.
up. Yeah, that is
Dumb.
When in doubt, just ask Brian and Jannelle, and then you'll get an answer. If your decisions, we should do that one day. Have a show one day where people kind of type in, "Hey, I made this decision. What do you think about it?" Dumb.
You go, psh, now it's dumb.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Angie? Tammy is on the line. What's up? Or on air or with us.
So we talked about an interesting article today that claims we're up against the next The Great. So
can I just say,
what?
We've lived through a lot of the greats. Like millennials alone. No, seriously. The 9/11, the Great Recession.
Great Depression.
You said what?
I missed the Great Depression. I'm not sure about you.
No, but like in our lifetime, there's been a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Now they're going to add another The Great? That's crazy.
They're calling it perhaps the Great Resignation.
Yeah.
As in the Department of Labor recorded 4 million job resignations in April alone, of this past April. And we already know that jobs going vacant. We're not here to talk about why. You can talk about it somewhere else. At least not today here.
Don't tell me.
But they also have found in a recent study by looking at TikTok and Reddit and some other organizations that as many as 1 in 4 employees, so 1 in 4 people with jobs, report they plan to use up vacation days this summer and then resign their job in the fall. And all that has to do with the fact that really, since the shutdown, they've had time to consider the future. Would they prefer to have the flexibility of working from home, or would they rather go to an office job again after the pandemic? Does this current job what you really want to be doing? In a job market where employers are desperate for employees, you can kind of pick your terms.
Yeah.
So we try to figure out what would be a biblical motive, in a sense, for being part of the Great Resignation.
Angie said, "Wow, that's messed up." Yeah, I didn't know Brian knows stuff. I didn't even know that about the Jeopardy thing. But it's a good. True. I think people are becoming more. What did you just say?
I want to make sure I got that right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that people are reflecting kind of on their jobs, but I also wonder if some of the things are more practical, like the changing needs of our children with virtual schooling and just the impact that the changing world is having on people and their reflections on jobs. But I agree with you, Brian, where working from home is becoming more and more of a norm, so you can demand things that before you couldn't. Chris, what's up? You haven't been on in a while. Or Reese, we love you. We love when you're on. If you're on YouTube, make sure to click the button, subscribe. You can click the bell, then you'll be notified when we release an overtime episode. Make sure to join the family. And if you're watching from YouTube, comment and let us know where you're watching from.
I was right about Jeopardy, by the way.
The
guy does have a resume of hosting some other game shows. Generally speaking, I think it looks pretty bad for the hiring manager to hire himself.
Wow, that's messed up. Especially when you have somebody like her. She's well known. She's very qualified.
Right. Oh, it's Chris Killstrom. Hey, Chris. Good to see you, my friend.
Where's he
Hope
from?
all is well. She is from Chicago.
Oh, cool.
We went to the same church together in Chicago.
Hi, Chris. And so, have you come to a moment where in your lifetime, where you've reflected like that?
Yeah, but the only time I've ever resigned positions is when I've already secured another. Unless there's a dramatic movement of the Lord, I don't think it's wise for Christians to resign a position without something else lined up.
Yeah.
Unless you're independently wealthy or have some sort of other miraculous
Yeah.
plan in mind. It's just irresponsible, especially if you have a family.
Your teaching job was that right? Where
I
you
resigned
felt
from my
like,
teaching job,
yeah.
and it wasn't until I had accepted an offer to work for Moody in Chicago that I resigned. I wrote a resignation letter, met with the principal, turned that in, announced to the staff, and, said goodbye.
Yeah.
I've only done that once because of that. Otherwise, my other job changes have been voluntary. And or within the company, I suppose.
Interesting. Let me see. Supermom, what's up? Supermom says, good morning, guys. I would love to resign and look for something else, but I probably won't. It seems too much of a risk. It's best to find another job first. It is best to find another job, but I guess my question is, what if you have to take a pay cut? Would you, in normal circumstances, advise somebody to because some people do it for mental health. Even when people say things like Supermom saying, I can't resign, is it worth to continue in a place where you're just,
There's a lot of good reasons to take a pay cut. One of them is, the obvious one is God's calling on your life.
Yes.
Is clear and obvious. Sarah and I did that. We moved to Chicago. Other reasons, like you're saying, mental health. Maybe even though it's a pay cut, there's other benefits that you don't have in your own job right now that you would have in the new company. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's tuition reimbursement. Maybe there's a more flexible work schedule.
Yeah.
Time has value, and so do different benefits and perks.
Wow, that's deep what you said. Time
that's
has
true.
value.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're a deep brother.
I know.
You should go into communications. Angie said, I agree, Jannelle. A lot of people had issues with childcare, and working from home helped alleviate that issue. Some companies have found it was more beneficial to have staff work from home to help them with overhead. Yes. So I see that workers can say, no, I'm going to work from home. And I know some employees are pushing that. But I think companies are realizing it benefits them as well. What's up, Theola and my girl Rachel? How are you doing? If you're on YouTube, I see some additional people on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. But in terms of pay cuts, that's cool. You mentioned, we also talked about this morning how letting go for a pay increase is not a bad thing. Because I know some believers have a problem. You mentioned wealth. It's not bad to have wealth, and it's not bad to seek for more, as long as you're not compromising the basics, which is family.
For example, the cost of having 5 children grows as they do.
Yeah.
The cost of having 6 grows as they do.
Yeah.
Feeding a baby is much less expensive than a teenage boy.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to continue moving up the pay scale simply to be an adequate provider.
Angie said, Brian would have been great on the debate team.
I don't know about that.
I agree. Would you have been, were you ever part of a debate team?
Nope.
Why do you say you wouldn't have been great at it?
I'm just not that great at many things.
You are really good at debating. That is what you do.
There's a difference between interpersonal debate and formal debate.
Oh yeah.
I might do okay at that. I don't know. I don't know.
Is it something looking back that you're like, oh, it would have been fun to try?
No. I'm generally kind of lazy. So.
Oh my goodness. Were you lazy in school?
Well, I worked really hard.
You did your work. I'm saying, were you man, I want more of a challenge, or I'm going to try these electives, or
no.
Were you curious?
No, I want to work hard, but I don't want to make stupid decisions that are going to end up hurting my mental health. So I did what I had to do, but I could have tested out of math and the math basic requirements in college, or take a basic math course.
Yeah. I
took the course.
Yeah.
I didn't want to deal with the moral crushing defeat of failing the test.
Yeah.
And I chose teachers in high school and classes in college that gave me strategic advantage. There was one economics professor that assigned the book Atlas Shrugged, which is supposed to be a great book, but it's this thick. And I don't want to read that long of a book while I'm in college. I'm sorry, I don't. So I didn't take that professor.
Yeah,
took a different one.
That's right. What's up, Supermom? She goes on to say, amen. I wish I could ask for a raise simply based on the fact that my boys are eating everything. Supermom also says my grocery bills is like a second mortgage.
See?
What's up, Chad and Carlton? Angie was mentioning about your debate, and Deborah says, good morning. What's up, Deborah? Team Jannelle. Make sure to register, all of you. And if you're a man, register some woman in your life, to the Renew Conference. And we're going to have a great time September 18th. It's about time we get together.
All
We
right.
should have something behind the scenes for Team Jannelle. But I don't know about that. It would
Probably
be
not.
nice, though. In theory, it would be nice.
She's a dreamer. When reality hits,
Right.
you get nothing. All right.